gentlemen, here are your RIT Tigers. Brown up once again. Oh, what a beat!
It is hockey night in Henrietta as we welcome you to the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where tonight it's an Atlantic hockey rematch as the Niagara Purple Eagles are in town to face the hometown Tigers for a third straight game. Number 8 for RIT is freshman Will Calverley. The Scarborough, Ontario native helped the Tigers avoid a loss last night at Niagara. We'll show you how Calverley saved the day in just a moment. You are watching RIT SportsZone Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builders. We'll have highlights, interviews, analysis, and oh so much more on the way as we get you set for face-off between these throughway rivals coming up at 7:05. Good evening and Happy New Year. I'm Kevin Roach, and welcome to RIT SportsZone Pregame Live here on CW Rochester. Well, it's been 3 weeks since the Tigers last played in this building. On that night, RIT snapped a 5-game losing streak with a much-needed 8-4 victory over Niagara in the first of 3 straight games between these two programs. Last night, Game 2 at Niagara as both teams returned to action. Following the holiday break, first period, Tigers down 1-0, but with 4:08 left in the period, Alden Dupuis puts the loose puck in past Brian Wilson for his 6th goal on the year right there. It was 1-1 after 1. Second period, RIT with a 4-on-3 advantage. Adam Brubaker, the shot just wide off the backboards. Abakur Duck is there for the rebound, though. His 7th goal on the year. We were even at 2 through 2. Third period, just under 10 minutes to play. Tigers on the power play, but here comes Niagara. Justin Kendall's breakaway attempt stopped, but Ludwig Stenland is there for the putback. Niagara took a 3-2 lead on the shorthanded goal. It was back and forth in the third. RIT answers on the power play again. Alden Dupuis is second the night. He had 7 on the season. It was 3-3, but with under 5 minutes to go, Niagara on the power play, and Luke Edgerton gets his second of the night, gives Niagara the lead. Time running out on the Tigers, over a minute left to play in the game. And oh, did they answer. Abakur Duck has found the extra attacker, Will Calverley. And the freshman one-times it past Brian Wilson for his 3rd goal on the year. A big one at that as RIT gets the equalizer and skates to a 4-4 tie with Niagara. So both teams earn a point following last night's 4-4 decision. As we take a look inside the numbers for RIT, the Tigers' top line played a big role for the 2nd straight game. Abakur Duck has had 3 points with a goal and 2 assists. Alden Dupuis elevated to the top line last month. He scored twice. He's now tied with Gerdukis for the team lead with 7 goals on the season. Tigers went 2 for 6 on the power play. Niagara 1 for 3, but RIT did give up a shorthanded goal once again. That's 4 for them on the season. Well, there was very little movement in the Atlantic hockey standings overnight, as the only other game in conference saw Mercyhurst defeat Holy Cross 4-3. Let's take a look at the up-to-the-minute standings. Air Force remains on top with 18 points, followed by RIT's opponent next week, AIC. Niagara can pull into a first-place tie with the Air Force Falcons with a win here tonight. Mercyhurst now tied with Army and Robert Morris for 4th place after their win last night. And RIT, sole possession of 7th place right now, with 12 points. With a reaction from last night's game and a preview of tonight's matchup, our John DiTullio standing by live now with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson. John?
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. Gosh, I haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, too.
When you look at the standings right now, 7th place, just getting a point last night, talk about where your team is right now as we approach the first weekend of January.
Yeah, I think I like the way we're playing right now. We just got to finish off games. We've been very I think we've shown a lot of improvement in a lot of little areas, but it's that finish part. It's really that third period, the last 10 minutes, maybe the last 30 seconds type of thing that we've got to get a little bit better at and finishing off strong, because that's the difference between winning and losing or tying in last night's case.
And last night, getting that point, scoring late, how important to get a point last night?
Yeah, it was important because I just think that we had played so well for two really good periods and an average third, not a poor third, but an average third. We find ourselves behind the 8 ball here a little bit, and then we scored, we pull our goalie and score, which always feels good for the team that scores the goal, and the team that ends up tying but giving up the goal doesn't, they're a little down after that.
And finally, what do you want to see tonight? You can get 5 out of 6 points here. This would be big. What has to happen tonight? tonight?
Yeah, just a consistent effort from start to finish, and I think we've been playing, almost a 50-minute game, and we've got to finish off and get the 60 because the difference in points is minimal.
That's head coach Wayne Wilson. Great seeing you again. It's been a long, long time. Head coach of the RIT Tigers. For a preview of Niagara, let's send it over to my broadcasting partner, Gene Battaglia. Gino?
Thanks, Johnny. As tonight we welcome back Jason Lammers, the head coach of the Niagara Purple Eagles, and a 4-4 tie last night. How did you think your team played?
We were excited by a lot of what we did. We really liked our entries, really liked our IZO time that we got, and obviously want to tweak a couple things. But I thought RIT played very well, and I'm always impressed with how well coached they are.
Well, Luke Edgerton, the player, stepped up last night. 2 goals for your team, a freshman. How's your freshman class coming along?
Well, we're really excited about our freshman class. I mean, we're excited about our team in general, but obviously our freshman class is a big part of what we're doing, and they're a big part of our offense right now, too. So it's exciting to see for now, but also for the future.
Since we saw you last in December, you're changing up your lines a little bit. Tell us what went into that.
Well, RIT kicked our rear end here before the break, so we had to do something different. So the guys did a nice job adjustment. The staff did a nice job putting the lines together, and I thought we paid dividends on the chemistry that was created last night.
Well, you want to get the win here tonight. I'm going to ask you for one thing your team has to do to win, but I'm going to take everything off the table that's easy. So you can't say get pucks in deep. You can't say control the puck. What is one thing the Purple Eagles have to do tonight to win?
Well, we have to get in front of them and keep them away from our net.
Fair enough. Jason, thanks for your time. Right. Jason Lammers, head coach of Niagara, as we send it back to you, Kevin.
All right, Gene. Coach Lammers hoping he's got the recipe here tonight against the Tigers. Well, 10 of the 11 teams in Atlantic hockey are in action today, as Sacred Heart is the only school in the league with the night off. In non-conference action this afternoon, as we take a look at the AHA scoreboard, second-ranked UMass, who lost last night at UMass Lowell, rebounded nicely today at AIC with a 6-1 victory. Of course, RIT is at AIC next weekend. Dartmouth and Bentley are knotted at 2 in the second period. Army and RPI get started at the top of the hour. Canisius, they'll look to complete the sweep of 13th ranked North Dakota after last night's 3-1 win. They start at 7:35. Meanwhile, Holy Cross is at Mercyhurst again at 7:05. Robert Morris underway with number 1 St. Cloud State. St. Cloud lost last night to Union. They're knotted at 1 in the Three Rivers Classic down in Pittsburgh. That one is in the second. And finally, if you want to stay up late and there's some way to watch it online, Air Force in the Ice Vegas Invitational. They'll play Western Michigan in the championship at 12:30 Sunday morning if you're still up. Take a look. Enjoy it. Well, still to come here tonight on Pregame Live, we'll revisit our conversation with the guy who was the first former Tiger to make it to the NHL. Plus, a current player on the RIT women's hockey team learned a few weeks ago that she will be going pro following this season. We'll share her story in just a bit. But first, he's a co-captain and the Tigers' leading scorer so far this season with 7 goals and 12 assists. We'll be joined by senior forward Abbott Gerdukis next as we roll on live from the Gene Policini Center on the Henrietta campus. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live.
Long pass up to Brown. Brown going in. Brown fires and scores! Wow! 4-2.
That's a big goal. Matt App was extremely patient. It was like a quarterback in the pocket. Sitting there. Watch App. Spots Brown. It's a great pass that got to Brown. Brown keeps it on the stick. Comes in and then goes and beats Tygrove. That's an important goal there for the Tigers.
Back up top, Curran fires, deflected high into the air, and scores! And we're tied! Rattol lost track of it.
How that puck made it through? I didn't even think it made it through. Did it get redirected?
My gosh, we had a goal like this. It goes off.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
there it is.
There it is. A great plan. 2-on-1. 3-on-1 make it. Can Niagara steal this? Redeker scores! I don't believe it! 10 seconds remaining, a 3-on-1.
Oh, a miserable memory for RIT fans who probably still can't comprehend what happened that night in that game. Now, almost 2 years later, the Tigers would go on to lose that first-round playoff series to Niagara 2-1. It's been a tremendous series overall, though, between these two programs over the years. Niagara leads the series with a record of 18, 11, and 14. However, RIT has the edge over the last 10 meetings, and certainly in the hardware department, having won 3 conference titles. The Tigers and Purple Eagles wrap up their home-and-home weekend series here tonight as we welcome in a new member to our broadcast team, Nate Rowan. And he is going to, actually, we're going to talk about the goalies, starting goalies for here tonight as we wait for Abbott Gerdukis to meet with Nate Rowan. Starting for tonight for RIT will be Logan Drackett. Logan Drackett has been the guy all year long, besides Christian Short, getting that one start on December 15th against Niagara. It has been him for most of the year. This will be his 17th start on the year, and the Alberta native is 6-8-2 this year with a 2.59 goals against average. So Logan getting the start here tonight. As for Niagara, it's going to be Brian Wilson. Wilson has been the guy for the Purple Eagles this season as he has gone 8-7-2, 7-5-2 in conference, and he has a goals against average of 2.77 so far this year. We'll see how he does. Now Nate Rowan joins us live, standing by with the co-captain, RIT senior forward Abbott Gerdukis, who's really turned things on over the last few games. Nate?
Yeah, he certainly has. Thanks, Kevin. Abbott, back-to-back games with 3 points. What's been rolling for you?
I think just as our line, we've been going pretty well. We made a little switch there. Duper came on our line with me and Brownie, and I think we've just been moving it well, and I guess bounces are going our way right now, so that's the way things are going.
It's a little unique to play a team 3 straight times in the regular season. What's it like to see one opponent that many times consecutively?
Yeah, I mean, it's my 4th year. I haven't seen that yet, but we've done all right the first 2 games, but we got to win this one to win the 3. So, I mean, you just take it game by game, and we got to win the set of 3. So tonight we got to get it.
And you look at last night's game, you scored a power play goal, but you gave up a shorthanded goal. They scored a power play goal as well. How do you clean up the special teams tonight to make sure that you come out with 5 out of possible 6 points in these 3 games?
Yeah, exactly. Special teams are going to be huge. Last night was pivotal, especially in the 3rd period there. So, I mean, our power play was clicking all right, 2 for 6, but yeah, we can't give up the shorties. That hurts. So, I mean, just clean up the simple mistakes and try and get in the net when we have the chances.
Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kevin, back to you.
All right, Nate, we'll look forward to your reports throughout the broadcast here tonight. While many former RIT men's hockey players have gone on to play professionally, only a few women's hockey players have continued their careers beyond RIT. But for one senior, the pro dream became a reality last month as she became the first Tiger to ever be drafted by an NWHL team.
Thurston doing everything she can, helps to keep the play alive. The Stone sends it wide, then trickles through. The rebound, put back in. Kendall Cornine with the power play goal.
Kendall Cornine has rewritten the record books during her RIT career. The senior captain will depart this year as the program's all-time leading scorer at Division I.
I've had the opportunity to coach her here for 18 games, and those are the type of players that get you to the top. You know, she's an elite player. She really took this team the first 10, 12 games, put it on her back, and had some huge goals. And, you know, if you look at some of the highlights and some of the goals she was creating, I mean, they're pro plays.
Cornine will have an opportunity to continue making those pro plays in the fall. Just last month, the New Jersey native was drafted 6th overall by the Metropolitan Riveters of the National Women's Hockey League.
I mean, obviously I was really excited. You know, it's something that I've kind of always dreamed about since the league started, and I'm really excited to be a part of it and be able to grow the game and continue my playing career, especially so close to home.
The NWHL was formed in 2015, and the Riveters are one of 5 current teams based in New Jersey, Minnesota, Connecticut, Boston, and Buffalo. RIT assistant coach Hannah McGowan played 1 season in the league and realized Cornine's game is a natural fit.
I knew right away when I started coaching her that she had the ability to play at that level, and when it came time, I thought it was important to reach out on her behalf. You know, just reaching out, sent some video, and got in touch with some people in the league, and you know they had already known about her, and were interested. So I think I just helped, get the communication going. But she earned it, and she, made a name for herself at RIT.
She'll do really well at that level. She's got a lot of pro style in her with her hands, the way she sees the ice. She'll be with some really good hockey players, and she was picked fairly high, and I think it should be a good confidence booster for her as well, and let her know that people know who she is, and they're taking notice on her success.
Cornine appreciates what she's accomplished thus far, but knows there's plenty of work to be done in her final months as a Tiger.
Everyone says it every year, every senior, it flies by, you blink, and the 4 years are gone. So I've definitely experienced that, and you barely have a chance. It's really winter break of your senior year, you realize you have 1 semester left. So I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities I've been given here, and I'm looking forward to the last semester.
Kendall Cornine is hopeful that she'll be able to capture a CHA championship before her time is done at RIT. Now, as for her pro playing career, the NWHL does pay its players. However, it's certainly not a livable wage. Cornine told us that in addition to playing in the league next season, she's looking for an opportunity to be a strength coach, personal trainer, of course, a hockey coach as well. Now, Cornine and the Tigers have now won 2 straight after sweeping Brown in Providence this weekend. Tigers are back to conference play on Friday night when they host Syracuse here at the Policini Center at 6 o'clock. You can get your tickets at RITtickets.com. On the RIT scoreboard, the women's basketball team lost at RPI today, 66-57. Tigers now 8-2 on the year. The RIT men also lose 80-67. Bob McVean's squad now 0-4 in the Liberty League. Hey, if you're interested in watching some RIT hoops this week coming up, we've got you covered. Check out the RIT SportsZone live stream of men's and women's basketball this Tuesday night as the Tigers host Ithaca College at the Clark Gym. Tip-off for the women is 5 o'clock. The men go at 7. Catch it all on RITathletics.com. Well, still to come, John and Jean will rejoin us to discuss tonight's matchup, and we'll talk with former RIT defenseman, now Vancouver Canuck, Chris Tanev, as we continue live until the top of the hour from the Gene Policini Center. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. Back here at RIT SportsZone Pregame Live from the Gene Policini Center. The spring semester doesn't get started until a week from Monday, but the Tigers are already back to work as they close out a home-and-home series with Niagara here tonight on Kids Night. Kids having fun in the atrium here at the Policini. Always a good time. Joined as always by the guys who will have the call for you once again here tonight, John DiTullio and Gene Battaglia. And after last night's game, guys, Wayne Wilson said that he feels his team is close to playing the way he wants them to play. That's certainly encouraging for a team that has some catching up to do in the conference standings over these final few months, isn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, getting 1 point on the road the way they did, and Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, bud.
Good to you, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize you. It's been so long.
Tigers, well, they won here back on December 15th. That was kind of a strange game where the Niagara coach pulled the goalie with 5 minutes to go. Tigers won that game, getting the point last night. So how do you think the Tigers enter the new year here, John?
Well, talking with Wayne just about 5-10 minutes ago, he likes the way they're playing, as Kevin just mentioned. He goes, we got to play 60 minutes. He thought last night they played really well the first 2 periods. Then they didn't play well in the third. Luckily, they were able to force overtime on the Will Coverley goal. He goes, we got to finish games. If we start finishing games the way we're supposed to, I think we'll be a tough team to beat moving forward. He likes the way they're playing. Just got to play a full 60 minutes.
It's a young Niagara team. Last night, a player stepping up, getting 2 goals for the Purple Eagles. Number 17, Luke Edgerton, our player to watch.
He's on that top line, dynamic player last night, and really talking with Wayne, he goes, he was a guy that we had circled coming in. He's just a freshman forward. You look at that line, but Luke Edgerton, really good player. Talk with Wayne, really moves the puck. Not a real big kid, but a really great skater and a great puck handler.
Well, the Tigers have 1 freshman of their own. He came up big last night. So the Tigers down by 1 late, just over a minute to go, pulling the goaltender Logan Drackett just 6 seconds later, just stepping out onto the ice and getting the pass was Will Calverley.
It was huge. Think about the mindset of this team. Last night you play well for 2 periods, but you come away with nothing to show for it. Thanks to the freshman forward, they get the game-tying goal, and they come out of Niagara with a point. I really like the way number 8's been playing, really from the get-go this year. He's a freshman, and with more ice time, gets better and better.
So the Tigers tonight, well, if you back it up to the game of December, they're looking to take 5 or 6 points here, John. What do they have to do tonight to get the 2?
You got to limit mistakes, as we're going to channel now, Gino. I don't know, This is Britney Spears, who's kind of having a little rebirth, Gino. according to my daughter. I'm not hip on all this stuff, but yes. Oops, I didn't do it again. Play clean. The Draken Slayer. Logan Draken is the goalie moving forward. Wayne has made that clear. And the purple people here, you got to get pucks to the net. You got to get slithering through that Niagara defense, get pucks to the net, get some pucks flying, get bodies flying, and I think they do all that. We're looking at 2 points.
2019, the first home game of the calendar year. We'll have the puck drop coming up at 7:05 as we send it back to you, Kevin.
May 16th, 2000, that song came out. I just looked it up. We're dating ourselves here. Wow. She's coming back, though. We'll see.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you at the top of the hour. Well, through the years, the men's hockey program has seen its share of former players move on to play pro, whether here in North America or overseas. But only one has sustained a career playing at hockey's highest level. As a freshman, he played in the Frozen Four, and as a rookie, he played in the Stanley Cup Finals. And now, almost a decade later, Chris Tanev is the only former Tiger still going strong in the NHL.
Kept in that point. Chris Tanev comes in. Tanev shot. Score! Chris Tanev, the freshman out of Toronto, scores on the...
Chris Tanev was part of the most magical season in RIT Division I history.
The Cinderella story of the tournament so far. The Rochester Institute of Technology out of Rochester, New York. They're going dancing to the Frozen Four in Detroit.
Yeah, it was extremely special. I don't think I would be here right now without how well we did. It was such a great team, and we had such good chemistry, and a lot of us are still really close today. And we had a great run, and it's definitely a very special time.
The freshman defenseman was fourth in scoring on that Frozen Four squad with 10 goals and 18 assists, numbers that got the attention of several NHL scouts.
Quick shot and a goal! Tanev with the goal. His 8th of the year, and the Tigers go up 5-2.
When you set foot on campus, is it safe to say you didn't envision an NHL career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I figured I'd be at RIT for 4 years and then get my degree, potentially maybe go try and play in Europe or something for a bit, and then get to work. But I mean, that year changed everything.
Tanev left RIT after that 1 year and signed with the Vancouver Canucks. But even now, he admits that leaving wasn't an easy decision.
Yeah, it was a very tough decision to leave. Obviously, I didn't want to at first, but then you realize you might not get this opportunity at all again. I figured you could always go back to school at the end of the day, and me and my family, we decided that it'd be a good idea for me to try and go play.
It turns out it was the right decision. Tanev is in his 9th season now and has played in over 400 NHL games.
Time flies, and you look back at things, and you almost forget things that happen, and then you'll see a guy you played with 6-7 years ago, and it brings back a bunch of memories. But it's been a good run so far, and then hopefully I can keep it going, and then keep having fun on it.
It's been a pretty impressive run for a guy who almost quit hockey back in high school. But despite the success and the big NHL contract, Tanev remains as humble as ever.
You know, I've seen a couple kids at our arena at RIT wearing your jersey, your number 8. What do you think about that when you hear that or when you see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. You never imagined that growing up. It's awesome that people look up to you, and you just try and be the best role model you can, and off and on the ice, and when you're out there playing hard and then helping the team win.
Yeah, great RIT former player there, Chris Tanev. Now, Tanev has played in 39 games with the Canucks this season. The 9-year vet has scored 2 goals and has added 9 assists. Congratulations to Chris on what has been a great NHL career, and we thank him for his time earlier this season. Well, it's almost game time for us here at the Policini Center. We'll wrap things up when we come back. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. Back here on Pregame Live. Well, after tonight, only 7 home games remain in the regular season for the Tigers. So if you haven't been out to the Policini Center yet this year, Come on out, join us sometime. Tickets start as low as $6, and you can grab your seats today by calling the box office at 475-4121 or online at RITtickets.com. The Tigers are on the road the next 2 weeks, so our next broadcast isn't until Friday, January 25th, when RIT hosts Army. Faceoff is at 7:05. However, our coverage can't be seen locally until 10 o'clock that night on CW Rochester. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of RIT Sports Zone Pre-Game Live. Thanks so much for watching. Up next, it's round 3 of this season between the Tigers and Niagara Purple Eagles. We'll see you back here for the intermission report, everyone. Until then, enjoy the game. RIT Sports Zone's live coverage of Tiger hockey begins right now.